I'm just leaving the house as we start this podcast, taking Patch out for a walk at lunchtime, and it is a relatively overcast day in Scotland, Thursday lunchtime. You may hear some background noise as the neighbours are having some work done to their garden, but we will be walking through some quieter patches through nature as well. And so, in today's podcast, I would like to talk about really stepping into your dreams and stepping through your fear and stepping into taking action to step into the highest timeline of you. And so, I'd like to share in this the journey as much as it is a journal of my life at this time, and also some of the advice I've been given, the experiences I've had, and I think it's the perfect time to share as I'm passing through that doorway of fear. And so one way of thinking about it is when I start, if you listen to today's song, which is all about working through the fear that stands in front of your door and to step through it into your dreams. And the song is called Bravest Hearts. No, it's not. It's called Bravest Souls. And the chorus is that the universe rewards the bravest souls with the greatest rewards. And so let's start, first of all, in our day-to-day lives. We have a tendency as humans to put the fear, things we fear the most, the uncertainty, perhaps the pain or darkness or shame that we have in our lives, we put it to the side and we just get on with our days. However, behind the fear that we put to the side is actually the door to our dreams. And so when we are busy chasing whatever it is we're chasing in our dreams, what our dreams are, our goals, our missions, it's actually not in the direction that we expect. And this is something that comes across very clearly in my darkness and clearing sessions with people, is that it is always the key to unlocking someone's healing, the retrieval of all aspects of their soul, and activating their gifts and allowing them to step into a new version of them, sits behind a door. So I imagine a physical door, and the way that works is that in front of it is our fears, our greatest fear. And it could be, in my case, I think one of my greatest fears at the moment is lack, is a sense of what would I do if I didn't have like a full-time day job? What would I do for money? And how would I look after my family? Come on, Patch. And that's really interesting, because the 3D paradigm teaches us that with our lives, that if we want to survive in this lifetime, that we should really, get a career, and in that career work really hard, and over time make money, and with money buy food, buy a house, buy a car. And I think what's important to realize that actually the abundance comes from within us. And it's a theme that's been coming up in my meditations and my songs recently, is that the universe favors those that, the souls that take action, that step through that fear and trust and surrender in the universe and into its next steps. To take that bold leap of faith that as they close the door on their old patterns and their old behaviors, that they step into a world which is even more beautiful than they can imagine. and I see this around me. I see people setting up their kind of side hustle and starting to grow that without expectation of exactly how it's going to look or what it's going to be. And then as they do that, that becomes their main hustle. It becomes like they start living their dream as they are able to just transition off and let go. And I think it's very easy to see what from the outside can look like quite a gradual process, but for the inside, for the person, is a huge step. And I'm also getting appreciation that it's also down to energy. And so a dear friend was telling me a couple of days ago, they were saying, think about the energy that you're putting into your day job and think about why you do it. Let's just start with why. And as I focused and answered those questions, ask myself those questions, what is the why that I have a day job? And my day job is really for the money. I explored, in the past it's been so much more. I was chasing job titles, I was chasing kind of ownership, being able to lead and manage many people, and the kind of 3D world's status and prestige that goes with that. And then over the recent years, as I've continued to awaken, I've realized that there are some, many exciting things to learn working with other humans, and I work with such amazing, talented people. I've realized that really my purpose at the moment is just to follow that, follow the money at the moment, and I think there's much more that I'd like to explore in my life. And so when I think of what really excites me, what my passions are raising the vibrations of billions of hearts through music, and more recently over the last year through darkness clearing and healing. And when I've been talking to my higher self about this and seeing it from a wider perspective, I know it's never going to be exactly what I thought it would be as I step into these passions more. It's not going to be the same as other musicians or healers, and or combinations thereof. I know that it's going to be quite unexpected. To be honest, I think the darkness healing and clearing full stop has been unexpected for me. But yeah, I absolutely love it, and I love it for the benefit it gives others. And so I sat with my wife yesterday, and we had some long talks for hours, and we talked about the energy that I'm putting into a day job and some of the options there. There's options like keep doing it for a year or two. There's options like considering a demotion, or looking at things like working part-time. This year, what I have done, the action I have taken already is I have a 3-week sabbatical booked, and I think that would be really helpful to help me reflect and to kind of gather my thoughts. And there are other options like, leave the job. I'd have several months' notice to work. And then there's the question of, well, what about money? What do I do? And it's definitely difficult right now financially. because we have roof repairs and our motorhome needs work, and we also have a loan on a new bathroom, which is just absolutely needed because it's broken very badly. So those are things that we'll definitely need money for, as well as living, and also figuring out like what would we need to get by each day, each month, and our children aged 16 and 12, almost 13, they definitely need to go through their higher education, which will also be a big investment, and a balance. We're not sure exactly how we'll support that, but whatever it is, we want to be there for our children. And I also know that balance with this is that there's no way to plan out the unexpected. Like, if you truly surrender, I can't financially plan my way through that. But what I can do is get my finances in an order that allows me and my family to just work out what we need, and also not just spending for the sake of it or taking decisions without thinking it through. So that's one aspect. And then when I was talking with my wife, we were having conversations like, well, what would I do? Would I if I didn't have this day job, would I do something else that was maybe a few days a week? There's lots of options. I could remain in the same kind of computing field or not. And that was, I'm totally open, to be honest, but it was difficult to really figure out what that would be, and it would need some research. And I'm thinking, well, I already have skills in music, healing, and in computers, so plus some other things. I'm thinking I could just continue to expand those and really focus that energy. And I think that's one aspect that I'm now appreciating, is that from my friend's guidance, that really be careful and conscious about where you invest your energy. And so if my energy for my day job is all about the money aspect for now, then that's a useful kind of term to think of and a way to engage with it. And of course I care deeply about the people I really love working with them, but at the same time, to not overdo it and just have that right work-life balance. The other thing that really resonates with me is I want to do more, and will do more, darkness clearing healing sessions. My plan is to set up a new website. I have one already where you can go order sessions, but I'd like to set up one that's easier to navigate, that has some more kind of, I guess traditionally you call it marketing material, to help understand, what it is, because it's quite an unusual healing approach. And I was talking with a dear friend today, and I was guided that she would also be stepping into this work, and I thought I should just set up a group. Like, I should set up a group to help teach people how to do darkness clearing sessions. And she said, yes, absolutely, you should do it. And at that moment, I just started crying happy tears. For about 5 minutes, I cried. And the idea had come to me before, but I'd so easily dismissed it. But as soon as it became real, when I suggested it to someone, it made me react to it. And I think that's also a big theme of this podcast, is that the reality is that you'll know the right step when you know how it feels, because it feels right. And it's in the kind of infinite world of opportunities and possibilities, your mind easily gets lost, or forms a single like focused plan and then just keeps driving that forwards, whether it's right or wrong. And so for me, the best thing to do is think about, well, what are the aspects that I resonate with, that I really want to take forwards. And it's almost like trying something new, seeing how it feels, and if it feels amazing, and the feeling like you can't mistake it, it's literally like for just that moment you are living your dream. And that's, for me, was that joy of just crying tears of joy. Was like, wow, that feeling inside, like my heart was on fire, I was smiling, I was overfilled, like just filled with these positive emotions. And I found that really exciting. So my next steps are, I'm going to set up a membership group. I'm going to figure out, I feel it's going to be a paid membership group. And I'm going to figure out just the initial approach, like what would the benefits be for people. Likely we would do classes such as once a week. And we may even share and do sessions together with clients so that we can help teach on the job training, and really help others help others. So here I am saying it and putting it in a podcast and share it with the world. And in part, I think that's another action you can take, is say the commitment out loud. Come on, Patch. Come on. Because by doing so, we're able to, bring the action, at least verbally, bring the energy into this 3D reality beyond our thoughts and emotions. And so that's really exciting. It feels like a job that I will do this weekend. So that's really it for this podcast. And next, I'll be looking forward to sharing details of my new group and services. So thank you so much for listening. Sending my love from Scotland. I love you.